Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I have a very special guest, and I'm so excited. I will be interviewing Deena Freeman. You may remember her. She was the spokeslady for McDonald's and Tab Soda back in the 80s, but she was also April Rush, Ted Knight's niece, on one season of Too Close for Comfort. And she was also in the classic TV movie of the week horror story, Deadly Lessons, with my good friend Diane Franklin. And she's done a whole slew of other TV shows and movies of the week that we'll be talking about in just a minute. And I'm so excited. She's also a fellow Bay Area native, the Peninsula to be precise. I'm from San Mateo. She's from Palo Alto. And I'm so excited. I am just so excited. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. So, let me call Deena Freeman.
Hello.
Hey, Deena.
How are you?
I am great. How are you?
Good.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's such an honor. You were a huge part of my childhood. I've always thought you were awesome.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
First off, happy belated birthday.
Oh, thanks. I'm happy to have had my birthday. What can I say? The option is not a good one, so no, I'm happy.
You and Diane Franklin actually have the same birthday.
That's right. I forgot that.
Yeah.
That's right. I haven't spoken to her in years, but always had this we had such a really great little friendship when we were working together and afterwards. Yeah, she's a lovely person.
Yeah, she was my very first guest, and she'll be my guest tomorrow, and I'm super excited about that.
Oh, nice. Oh, terrific. Send my regards.
I sure will.
Neat. Yeah. Yeah.
So, one probably your first movie of the week you did, it was a little controversial. It was called Please Don't Hit Me, Mom.
Oh, yeah, with Sean Astin and his mother, Patty Duke, who actually was called Anna. Her name was Anna, and her name was Anna. Wait a second, I'm not sure. I think she passed. Ooh, I hate to say that, and it didn't happen. I can't remember.
Oh,
but anyway, it was wonderful working with her. Yeah, and that was Sean Astin's first role. He was, I think, 5 years old or something on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked with Nancy McKeon, and it was kind of a funny situation because I was like in my early 20s, and she was like in her teens.
Yeah.
So when we'd have to go and she only had X number of hours that she could be working on the set. So I remember at one point I had close-ups supposedly opposite her, but she was released already from the set, and I had to do my close-ups, and I was talking to somebody else who was feeding me the lines, because it really wasn't to her. And it was really kind of awkward, I was playing, in those days, I looked a lot younger than my age, and so I got a lot of roles where I was like a teenager.
Yeah.
So here she was a real teenager, and I wasn't, and sort of had to get into that mindset of being a teenager with a real teenager. So, it was a really wonderful show to be a part of. After school special, actually, they used to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that a lot. Yeah. I have just a lot of stories about different shows. Is there any particular show you're interested in, or?
We'll get to more. But yeah, what was Lance Guest like?
Oh, Lance Guest. Yeah, that was in Deadly Lessons, I believe.
Oh no, that was
correct?
No, that was in Please Mom Don't Hit.
Yeah. Please Don't Hit Me, Mom. Yeah, I don't have much of a memory of him. It was many years ago, but
Yeah.
I only a good feeling about him, but I didn't really have any scenes with him particularly, so I don't really recall. So it's getting me in my 60s to remember something in my 20s. So that's a little bit off. So you might find this interview going, wow, I don't remember.
Oh, I've had plenty of those. I'm sure we'll find something.
Yeah.
But yeah, the reason I wanted to ask though was because I was at a convention 2 years ago and he was signing autographs there. And I was at Catherine Mary Stewart's side of the table because they were both in The Last Starfighter together. And
Yeah.
I'm meeting her and like I just casually say hi to him and he gave me a dirty look and I was like, wow,
Why?
He must have, I don't know, he must have had to deal with some crazy fans or something before.
Oh my God. Or, yeah, you never know what's going on with somebody, it could have been nothing to do with you, but something going on in his head, at
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah,
as he was looking at you,
Yeah, and I interviewed an actress who actually dated him during that time, and she told me, yeah, he's a very private person. He's not really used to like being in public talking to people, even though he has to make money signing autographs though. But she said I wouldn't take it personal.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody comes with their own baggage.
Yeah, exactly, baggage. And you did a pilot that never got picked up called In Trouble.
Oh yeah, I love that show. It was with Nancy Cartwright.
Bart Simpson. Yeah.
Bart Simpson. Yeah, she and I did several projects together. It was so much fun. We did that.
And Deadly Lessons.
Yeah. In Trouble with Doris Roberts. In fact, I was just on IMDb Pro looking up the cast, and what's interesting is they don't even have the full cast listed. But Doris Roberts was in it. At the time, actually, she had broken her arm. She was playing the principal of the school. Mm-hmm. We had a blast. Nancy and I and Nancy Lisa Freeman.
Yes.
The three of us were on the show, and it was so much fun. Actually, at a certain point in the middle of the night, we had a problem with taping a certain scene, and they rewrote a whole scene. We had to learn it and put it up, and we were just sure that our show was going to get picked up. And I think it was the same year as Square Pegs, and I think Square Pegs got picked up and not us. Mm-hmm. But it was with it was great. It was just so much fun. It was such a fun show to do. And we were the stars of it, and it was really exciting. We were playing teenagers, but we were all in our early 20s.
Yeah.
And I was lying about my age in those days. And you'd go on an audition, and you could lie because you didn't have anything on the internet, right?
Right.
So I said I'd always calculate like 3 years younger, that I was 3 years younger than I was. So it was funny. Always trying to keep straight. Like when I was working, I worked on a TV movie called Deadly Lessons with Donna Reed, and I grew up watching her on the Donna Reed show. But I had calculated that I was 3 years younger, so I wouldn't have known the Donna Reed show. So I never said to her, like, I love you on that show. It was crazy because I had to have it all worked out so that my lie would work, that nobody would catch me in it. And that was with Bill Paxton, who recently passed away.
Yeah.
What a great guy.
Yeah,
and it was also with Nancy and with Ali Sheedy,
right?
Who was on that show, and Diane Franklin, of course. We were in that Deadly Lessons together.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good film to be in.
Yeah, I had a crush on Lisa Freeman when I was a kid, and
oh really?
Yeah, and I've had two opportunities to meet her because she's an author now. She writes novels. And,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, she wrote this beautiful novel about her teen years called Honey Girl. I recommend it. It's a beautiful novel, and she she came to San Francisco to do a reading at this bookstore, and I was in the hospital from my car accident at the time.
Wow.
And then last year she came back for the part 2 novel, and I was already moved here in Reading by then, and I was pretty upset. But I'll meet her eventually.
How nice! I have to look her up.
Yeah. Oh,
That's really interesting.
She's a talented writer.
Oh, fabulous! Yeah, we had so much fun on that show. We had so much fun.
What was it like working with Tim Thomerson?
Oh, he's great.
Yeah.
He's just a hoot, you know. He was so much fun and believable, and you know, it was a wonderful show to work on. Just such a great cast, you know. And gosh, what's her name? Oh, he played my father, and I loved him. He's done a lot of theater in New York, a lot of TV. Just his name just went out my head. Yeah, it was just such a great cast. It was fun.
Yeah, did you ever go see Tim Thomerson do stand-up comedy?
No, I didn't know he did.
Oh,
That's great.
He was a genius. He should have stuck with it. He was great. He was like, you know, this manic ball of energy like Robin Williams or Steve Martin, but he was very politically incorrect too, and he was just genius. He should have stuck with it, but he's such a good actor. I'm glad he kept with that, you know.
Yeah, oh, how wonderful. It's great to hear about all these people. It's neat.
And then one of my earliest introductions to you was Too Close for Comfort. Me and my family used to watch the reruns. Yep.
Yeah.
That
was, yes.
How did you get the role of Ted Knight's niece on this show?
Okay, so I had just done the start in the pilot with Nancy, you know, Cartwright and Lisa Freeman in Trouble.
Yeah.
So ABC already knew about me, and I actually was submitted for the role of April twice. My agent didn't get an audition for me the first time, so she figured, you know what, I'll send her a picture again. It was a small agency, and they submitted it again, and I got an audition, and then, of course, callbacks. And then I got sent to ABC for the final final audition, and it was a really terrible time in my life because my dad had I was going up for the final auditions on a Wednesday, and the Sunday before, my dad had a massive heart attack and died.
Oh.
Yeah, it was beyond. He was only 56, and actually I had a long conversation with him for an hour, and then that night he died, and I flew up to Northern California, Palo Alto, you know, for the funeral and to be there for Shiva, which is a Jewish mourning period. And my family said, go, and we all knew that I had the final audition at ABC on the Wednesday, so they just said, go back, get it for him. My dad said, I know you're going to get it, you got it, you know, and so the family urged me to go back, and I flew in just for the audition, and in the actual audition, I had to talk about my mom who died. So it was, I told my agents, don't tell anybody that my father died, because if anybody looked at me sadly, I would have been on the floor. I wouldn't have been able to hold it together.
Yeah.
So I auditioned. I had 2 scenes I did, and I played opposite Ted Knight. I think there was like 7 of us or something in the final audition. And then I ended up getting it, you know. And so it was a very bittersweet time in my life. Very hard, you know. So I went from that right away. I mean, the shooting, I think, happened maybe 3 months late. I can't remember. Then it went into the second season of Too Close for Comfort. I was brought in the second episode. There was a guy they brought in as a regular in the first episode, and then by the time I came on, they already let him go, so I was kind of nervous that I was going to be let go. But, yeah, I came on the show in the second episode, and that was a whole other story being on that show. Not a particularly friendly group of people.
Yeah, I've heard.
I have to say. I mean, I can't say like Jim Bullock and I and the rest, Deborah Van Valkenburg and Lydia Cornell. They were great to work with. But I had Ted Knight, and he wasn't very nice to me.
Yeah.
I had a really difficult time on that show. And so, and I didn't know how to stand up for myself.
Yeah.
So it was difficult. Like, he just, I don't know, he had, yeah, I have stories about that, but he had told me that I was, because I have a hoarse voice, he told me I was making up my voice like that on purpose. And I said, what are you talking about? I mean, this is how I sound. I mean, he just was picking at me. And I felt, and I ended up sort of hiding on the show. I didn't end up like coming out and hanging out. And I was just, I didn't know how to handle it. I was young and didn't know. And so I was always pretending that we all got along. But inside I was having a really hard time. In fact, my whole face broke out with I had like major, like, not major acne, but I just had like this rash on my face, so they kept trying to change the makeup.
Yeah.
And once I was off the show, my rash disappeared. So it was a rash show. It was hard. It was hard. But I, learned a lot, and it was a big, it changed my career really, because I was on that show. All of a sudden I was not one person getting small roles. I was, all of a sudden I was on an ABC show. But it was a tough time in my life, combined with my dad passing, so it was hard.
56, that's young. I
have it. No.
I interviewed Cindy Morgan, who was in Caddyshack with Ted Knight, and she told me, he was a very just mean, gruff, irritable man, and he genuinely did not get along with Rodney Dangerfield, which is quite funny because it made really good comedy for the movie.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was not fun, with him. It was oil and water, and
is that why you left after that season?
No, you know what? They had a hard time coming. I don't know what happened. I think maybe he was part of that decision to let me go. They brought in the mother-in-law. So I really don't know what happened there. I do know that while I was on the show, the writers and the producers got together with me and said, what ideas do you have for your character? And I thought, oh my God, I'm in trouble. They don't know what to do with me. I mean, there were a lot of wonderful episodes with my character, but, they're asking me, and I thought, oh my God, I really am in trouble. And then they brought on Audrey Meadows, who was phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
With, from the Honeymooners.
Yeah.
And they let me go. And so I think it was maybe the Ted Knight, I would think, I don't know, but, we just didn't get along. Yeah. And I have the story that they had a rap party at the end of the show. And I remember, like when they warm up the audiences, the warm-up, I think one of the producers said, and here's Deena Freeman, who's April this season. And when he said that, it was like, wait a minute, this season, it sounded like that it was only going to be for that season. It was a little slip, but it was kind of like an indication. Mm-hmm. And then they had the rap party, and there was a cake that was made, and every one of the cast was depicted on the cake. It was like phenomenal. It all looked like us, right? So they actually cut the piece of April and gave it to me to take home because it hadn't been eaten, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I froze it. I brought it up to Palo Alto to my family, and I thought at a certain point, we're going to sit and have it, right? I put it in the freezer. So one day when I was visiting up there, while I was still, I think it was the show was in like hiatus before the second season, and I thought, I'll take it out. I'm going to take it out and eat it. So we had just finished eating April, and I got a phone call 20 minutes later that I was let go from the show. It was like, oh my God, I just ate up people. So, yeah. So that's what happened there. That's, yeah.
Yeah. I told Diane that Deadly Lessons is a cross between Sleepaway Camp and The Facts of Life.
Oh my God, you're right. That's so true. So true. Yeah, that was fun. We shot it in not far from here in this gorgeous mansion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was really neat. We had a great time. And Ali Sheedy had just finished doing War Games, and I don't think it hadn't come out yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was pretty neat. I mean, I really enjoyed working with various people, like the Golden Girls that played B. Arthur's daughter.
Oh, yeah.
And just to work with B. Arthur and the cast, Betty White, and I mean, I was probably more overwhelmed that I was on that show than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it was with Estelle Getty, too. It was such a great cast, and so I have really great memories of certain actors, you know, like working with Bea and working also with Bob Newhart on the Newhart Show, just one of the nicest guys you could possibly meet, just down to earth, and I had just a wonderful guest starring role on that show as well.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, what happened was I did a lot of guest roles on shows, and then when I got married, I decided to do, I stopped doing acting work on TV, just did commercials.
Yeah.
I just did commercials. I did tons of commercials right and left.
Yep.
And then it was only maybe, I don't know, in 2010 that I decided to get into an acting class. And I've studied with the best acting coach you could possibly imagine, Aaron Spicer. And he changed my, he helped me just tremendously. And I've been able, now I just started working again. And Shannon Sturgis as well. The both of them, there's a Spicer Sturgis acting studio where I also teach as well. I substitute there. And I love it. And I have my own teen acting class for professional teenagers or kids that want to get into the business. So I do that on Sundays, and I get so much out of it, and I love it.
That's so great. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I still do commercials. And I did a big film, not a big film, actually was I thought it was going to be a big film, but it's just getting a release, I think. It's called Collie the Killer. I play an overbearing Jewish mother, and it's with Richard Cabral, and I think Ryan Dorsey, and it's a really wonderful film. I did it a couple of years ago, but it's just getting a release now.
Nice.
So that's fun. I had a great role in that. So whatever comes along. And then my break after not having done any film work, TV work in years, because I was raising my kids, who are now actresses, Aviva Brandis and Noah Brandis, two daughters, is Banana Bread. And it was a short film that I did, also overbearing Jewish mother. But I was nominated for Best Supporting Actress at the Houston Film Festival for that. And it's really a funny short. It's great. It's really cute. So it kind of got me back into it again.
Nice. Yeah. I wanted to ask you, one of my earliest memories of you did this Disney TV movie of the week called Ask Max. Oh, yes. Yes. Right. We taped it off. We taped it when I was like 3 years old because I was a huge fan of the Goonies because I looked like Jeff Cohen when I was a kid. I was a fat kid with a big old head of brown hair. I looked like his non-Jewish brother, you know. And I used to watch it over and over again until the tape wore out about 10 years later. And I love that scene that you have. It's a really sweet scene between you and Cassie Yates talking about what it would be like to walk in the store and not have to worry about money.
Yeah, you know what? You remember it better than I do.
Yeah.
I'd have to look at it again, and if I looked at it, it's on a VHS copy, so I don't even know. I remember being on it, but I really don't remember much of the show.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could add to it for you. I mean, add or give you a story, but I don't. I don't remember much of it. Just that I enjoyed being on it.
Yeah, it was just probably a one-day thing, you know.
Yeah, right, exactly. Or Powers of Matthew Star was also like a one-day thing, but it was really fun to be on, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, neat.
Yeah, so it was
sort of.
It was a sweet little scene that I've always loved, and it always brought balance to the plot, you know, because he's working for this toy company, and he remembers that your character, who's his mother's friend, is working for this company that they're trying to lay off and everything, and I always thought, it always brought a nice little sweetness to it.
Oh, neat. That's neat. Wow, I'd love to see it again.
Yeah, Brian Grazer executive produced it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was like one of his early ones.
Wow, that's so interesting. It's so funny how that happens. You don't really realize who you're working for when you're young and innocent.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? You're working, go to the next one, and you sort of take it for granted, and then you realize, holy shit, I was on that one, So it's pretty neat,
Mm-hmm. And another one, too, you did The Last Fling with John Ritter and Connie Selica.
Oh, God, John Ritter. Yes. I loved working with John Ritter. It's so interesting. He is such a nice guy, You can't say anything negative about him. And it was fun. It was the first time that another actor, well-known actor, actually said, hey, do you want to run the scene together before we do it? I said, great. So we went off and we ran it a few times, and he was just so sweet. I just felt so welcome on that show. I think it was a TV movie or something.
Yes, and I actually have it on tape still.
You do? Neat. Yeah, I do too. What did you copy it as? Is a VHS copy?
Yeah, I taped it off of the Lifetime channel about 12 years ago or something.
Oh, neat. Yeah, I have all my stuff on VHS eventually. Probably a lot of dropout, but yeah, I'd love to see them again. It's fun. Show my daughters.
Yeah. So, do you get recognized for the commercials the most?
Usually it's from. I used to when I had like tons of commercials running. But really it was from Too Close for Comfort mainly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or someone will go, yeah, I know you, because my voice is husky, and they'll remember me from the Golden Girls. But generally it's from, I think, Too Close for Comfort, because they're reruns, or I was on, my first television show ever was with Tom Selleck and Magnum P.I.
Oh, yeah.
So someone will say, oh, yeah, I saw you on that. But basically it's really from the show. Maybe it's just a combination of things, because I've been on the air a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Over the years, so just my face will look familiar, and I sort of have the same haircut. Yeah.
Well, you made it all the way to the Screen Actors Guild Hall of Fame with the commercials.
Oh yeah, right. So that was fun, getting honored by them.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I think there were like 6 of us or so that were being honored by the awards, and then they showed clips of different commercials I had done. So that was fun, yeah. So I just did a couple commercials last year, so it's just sort of like an ongoing thing, which is always nice.
Mm-hmm.
But this business is very up and down. It's interesting. I have been for years with one agency in commercials, and I worked non-stop, and then I hit years of not working commercials. It was just really, really weird, just I'd go out and just not get anything. Mm-hmm. And then this agency that I was with for years dropped me, which shocked me, because I had been loyal to them and it made them a lot of money. And immediately I went with another agency, and within a month I landed 2 national commercials.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I'm getting callbacks, so I'm back on track, and I'm so happy at the agency I'm with. They're phenomenal. And they were my old agents at the first agency I was with for like over 30 years. So that's pretty neat, when that happens. It's like,
I heard people who do commercials now don't get paid as well as they used to.
Well, what happens is, we would, except what's going on is that they end up buying out there's so many different ways of showing commercials now on, all over, rather than just on the major networks, because people are watching, cable and all of that, and we get paid less for that. So, we make less. And what's happened, which is really horrible for us actors, is that a lot of companies now are hiring, they're just going non-union. So they're getting all these non-union actors with very little money, and they're, it's just hardly costs them anything for production, it's a fraction of the cost. So they're saving money, and all that work is going to non-union actors. So it's a real problem. Mm-hmm. A real problem for us.
Oh, yeah. I used to hear about people, the big stars getting like $10-20 million for commercials. Now I was hearing I think Amy Schumer, when she was doing the Old Navy commercials, she got like less than $5 million or something.
Wow, interesting. Because they're just seen. I guess it's just not great. It's not good. Not good at all. But I enjoy working in whatever I end up doing. Whatever I do voiceovers and animation voices as well.
Nice.
So whatever I do, I really enjoy it. I just love the whole process. Creating and just playing different characters, and it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of fun teaching as well, because I can share what I've learned over the years, and can make a difference in different people's lives.
Yep. I'm going to move to Los Angeles next year and take some acting workshops, and
you got to go to the Spicer Sturgis Acting Studio.
Is that the one you're at?
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Really, it's one of the best. Aaron Spicer is Will Smith's acting coach, among many other stars. Virginia Madsen, just like he's top, and Shannon Sturgis, who owns the studio, is top teacher. You would be very well served by coming there, and you should say hi. It would be great.
Oh yeah, love it? Do they do class auditing?
Yeah, absolutely. Come to a class audit, and then there's different. You start off in a 12-week class, and you learn the different techniques, and then you move up to scene study 1, 2, 3. It's just a phenomenal place, and you really do learn about just playing yourself as the character, living life naturally in the imaginary world of the script. Just living life, and it's a great place. Just people are booking right and left, and they care. It's a studio where they really care about each person.
Nice.
It's a phenomenal place. I can't recommend it highly, as you can see, highly.
Well, I will come down, and maybe I'll get
say hi. Give me a call. We'll get together for coffee.
Oh, that would be great. That would be great, Deena.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking the time today. I had a great time talking.
Oh, me too. Thank you so much. Take care.
Take care. And I'll send this to you.
Oh, terrific. I'd love it.
Yes. You could
okay.
You could share it on your Facebook. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll do that. That sounds like a great idea.
Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, there you have it. Deena Freeman. Ain't she a sweetheart? Thank you so much, Deena. Deena, That was an awesome conversation. I had a great time talking to you, and I will surely hit you up when I'm in LA. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, add me as a friend on Facebook, join my Tommy Kovac comedian page, follow me on Twitter, and all that fun stuff. This weekend, once again, I will be at the Silver Scream Festival covering the event on Friday night in Santa Rosa. Lots of great horror movie guests: Barbara Crampton, Kelly Maroney, John Russo, Rico Browning, Suzanne Snyder, Jackie Kong, Bill Lustig, the cast of Creepy Coffee Movie Time, Creature Features, and my good friend Phil Johnson will be the entertainment at the after party reception on Friday night. So check it out. It's going to be really fun. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past, because the present sucks. Later, dudes.